Hi, I'm Pam Dyson. I'm with the St. Louis Center for Play Therapy Training. I have a play therapy tip I'd like to share with you. I like to use board games. Therapeutic board games are a wonderful tool to use in play therapy. However, the pre-made games that you can buy can be very expensive, and sometimes they don't really fit the specific issues that children have that I am working with. So I've decided to make my own, and it's relatively easy. What you need is some file folders, because we're going to put the board game into a file folder. So you're going to need some file folders. You're going to want to figure out what kind of a game you want to make. Do you want something that's sort of like a racetrack that really doesn't have a beginning or an end, much like a Monopoly game? That's usually helpful for therapy because that way there's no, it's kind of an open-ended game and you can play it during the time of the session that you have. So this particular game that I drew the little squares, just used a ruler and went around and traced them off, shaped them off any way I wanted. Made a starting point with some stickers. Buy some stickers at some office supply stores. You can just use the colors individually. I like to draw little feeling faces on the stickers. Takes a little more time that way, but it makes the game a little more feeling specific that way. So you would roll the dice, or if you had a spinner, you could spin it and then move however many number of spaces you needed to move. On this particular game, if you rolled a 3 and you landed on this little green face here, the code says that you would pick a card, and this little spot here would be where the game cards would lay. So the child or the therapist or whoever's playing would pick up a card, and this card says board. So they would talk about what the word board means, and then they would share a time when they felt that way. So you could have individual feelings on the cards. You could even have specific situations where they would problem solve. For instance, this card says, a boy in the hallway at school starts making jokes about you. What would you do? So it's a great way to use it as an assessment tool or as a problem-solving tool. Here's another game that I made. This one is goes this way. It has a beginning and it has an ending. So you're going to be a little bit more limited in the amount of time. You probably wouldn't take as much time to play a game like this. So I really do prefer more of the racetrack type than the trail type of board game. But this is a similar one. You would roll the dice or spin a spinner and then move that many spots, landing on different faces. You might pick a card. It might say that you move ahead a space or move back 2 spaces. Whatever kind of elements you wanted to include in the game, you could. The game cards that I made, I used these business cards that you can buy at office supply stores, and you can download the template that comes with this, and then you can write the actual questions or the feeling words on there on your Word document, and then run the cards, run the business cards through your printer, and then they're already perforated so they're easy to separate and fold. Or you could do like I did, and I just cut some of these apart with a paper cutter that I had, and I just hand wrote feeling words, or you could handwrite feeling questions on it as well. In addition to dice and maybe a spinner, you're going to need some little game pieces or pawns. You can purchase actual pawns. Sometimes they have them at arts and crafts stores. I've seen them at teacher stores as well. Or you could use things like little miniature dinosaurs, little cars, army men, buttons, little colored stones, whatever you think would be a fun, engaging way for a child to play the game with you. There are a couple of websites that have these game board templates that you can download for free, so you don't have to create your own. And I will put the link for those at the bottom of the Facebook comments where this video will be posted. So get creative. Make some feelings-oriented games. You could even make some that are specific to divorce or grief, specific to problem solving. So wonderful, easy, affordable games. Easy to store. You just fold them up. You could write on the label what the particular name of the game is, and you could store them in a file folder, in a file box. So I hope you enjoy making therapeutic games.